Hey, there's this great moving video on today. I gotta go see it as soon as I get my job done. Come on. That was some work, wasn't it? Well, I'm just on break now. We've got more to do. But I want to learn more about this whole moving process. And Treasure Valley Aaron, he went out and got the straight dope on what's going on. So before we get to that, please remember, if you think about moving to Idaho, give us a call, text, email. We've all been through that relocation process, and we'd love to help you out and answer your questions. And for this video, if you liked it, please go ahead and like. Subscribe if you haven't, and please share with somebody that needs to see this. Well, I better get over with this break and get back to work. Let's go check out that video in the meantime. Thanks.
I'm Corey McCombs with Valley Custom Moving.
And I am Joshua Rumpel.
And so we started in 2019, and then we have grown exponentially ever since. We've been in the industry for over 15 years apiece, servicing it in different ways. Joshua and I were at a moving company prior to here and ended up starting our own after seeing what we could do together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's what it is.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
So you're a moving company. What kind of services do you offer under that name of a moving company?
So we do everything big and small. We'll, we do deliveries, we do antiques, we do arts, we do residential moves, a little bit of commercial, but mostly residential moves and arts and antiques.
Okay, so you do pull in long distance moves then?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of a big priority of our business right now.
Okay.
Huge part of it.
So that's keeping you busy then?
Extremely busy. We're booked out 45 days typically in advance for long distance moves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you were saying with antiques, so if I was someone that's concerned about a specific item, what kinds of things would you do to ensure that item was safeguarded?
Right, so we have a general insurance that all moving companies have. It's just a general liability, and then on top of that, with the arts and antiques, some people choose to go above and beyond that, and we have what's called valuation insurance, and it's based on the price of the item. So say you had a $10,000 item, we would take that item and multiply it by this much, and then that item would be covered at 100%. And so it's an extra insurance on top of that. And then obviously we have standard, what we call white glove service. So we're gonna come in and do everything to prep and, ready that item to be shipped properly and safely.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So it's everything that we do. We blanket wrap everything that's furniture based, whether it's wood, whether it's metal, whatever that it might be. We blanket wrap it entirely. We stretch wrap it. And then it goes out of the home that way, and it goes back into the home that way to make sure it arrives in the exact same condition as we pick it up in.
Nice. So people can rest assured their stuff is going to get home safely.
Yeah. And I think that's actually one of the biggest parts about why we've been successful is because we have been in the industry for so long that we have a better understanding of a lot of the pieces that were from older, like not even necessarily antiques, but pieces that were 20 years ago. Thin legs, like high boys off of a dresser. We understand that, you don't just tip those and call it a day, pick it up and go that way, because we've been around it and we see what happens on both sides. So our experience in the field is also what, kind of helps out just the reassurance of it, the knowledge.
One of my biggest concerns is with moving is that in-between stage of when I don't have my stuff. It's like, what do I do? So how do you guys help your customers in that area? Do you offer any storage solutions or?
We have a storage warehouse here for customers that are in between. That's actually kind of the big purpose behind here. With us doing a lot of long distance moves, we're having quite a bit of customers that are building a home, and then from that home they're Airbnb-ing it for a while because they got out of their home elsewhere. So in the meantime, we'll store them here, keep them for 3 to 6 months, something like that, and then deliver when the home's ready.
What sets you apart from other movers in the area? What makes your team stand out?
Just that we care, right? We're going to try and treat it like these are our things. We care what happens to it. we care about our name. We care that people are satisfied with our service. And so that's my biggest thing.
I think us going after really the personality of the company, making sure that who Joshua and I are is involved in the company at all times, even if we're not on the job. That's been a lot of our success, and what really does separate us apart is because we do care. We are movers who care. Joshua and I are always available, even if we're not on jobs. We're available for the guys. You know, we'll do a FaceTime with them if they're on a piece that's a little difficult. And we're available for the customer. A customer at any time can be like, hey, you know, is it okay if I talk to the owner? And that for us is not a problem. It's not one of those like, oh, so-and-so wants to talk to us. We're happy to do it. We want to be involved.
So how are you guys coping with the gas prices? Is that affecting your service at all?
We're taking a beating is what it's become. We've tried really, really hard to not push off all that cost onto our customers. So we're coping emotionally with it, you know, from taking just kind of the hit and the loss on it. We've had to increase our rate just a little bit, or, you know, try to, but for the most part, we're really trying to just stay where we've been at so we can continue just offering the same service over and over and over.
You had mentioned you have you're booked out about 45 days?
For long distance, we average about booking out 45 days in advance.
Okay. Has that number increased as far as the booking out, or has that been average for the past, I don't know, 5 years, or how has that time changed?
It definitely has increased over the last couple of years. Come summertime, it's usually about 60 days in advance because June is just bonkers moving time. Everybody's getting ready for the summer move. However that process might work for them, kids getting out of school, or if it's just, hey, summer's the perfect time to move. I'd say consistently been booked out about 45 days in advance. Wintertime is a little more, kind of like 30 or so.
When do your clients need to contact you if they plan to move?
So obviously with that window, they're going to want to contact us before that, but there's a lot that goes into it. We're gathering an inventory list, getting, box counts, and talking about their items, making plans. And so, we've had customers reach out to us 6 months in advance for a move, which is perfectly fine because that gives us, enough time. And then, we have the people that call a week before and they're like, hey, can you move us? And we're like, hey, no. But usually 60 days out for a long distance move. And then for something that's in town, you can usually get in within a couple weeks, 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, kind of on his note is a lot of we want like the 60 days in advance, even just the point of contact, is because there's a process for us to make sure that we're doing our job correctly. Where we're doing a lot of going down to California, picking up and bringing back, we're essentially not able to go down and do a walkthrough like we would do here. If we were to do a long distance move here, we would get out there, we'd do a walkthrough, be able to have eyes on it. So with them being long distance down in California, for example, and going down and picking them up, we have them submit an inventory list, full inventory list of every furniture piece that they want moved, item, whatever it may be, as well as a box count. And for us to be able to ask the questions that we need to ask ahead of time, to gather that inventory, to agree on a price, and all those types of things, the 60 days really is the best time, if not sooner, just to get the ball rolling so that when it is time to sell the home, pull the trigger on that kind of stuff, it's essentially all ready to rock and roll, can book it, send in the deposit, it's good to go.
So really, it's like the sooner they can contact you, the better.
Yep. Like Josh said, that's like 6 months in advance. Didn't happen as much this year, but last year, June was almost booked up in January because people were contacting that far in advance. And things like COVID really kind of kick that forward. So it has died down a little bit this year. But we get people that are thinking way far in advance.
Great. Is there anything that you won't move?
We don't move mobile houses. We don't move hot tubs. We have on occasion, but we don't do that anymore. People ask us to move all sorts of things. So, but generally speaking, we'll move pillows, lamps, grand pianos, all the way up. But anything much bigger than that, we don't. We don't generally move. We move gym equipment. We don't move pets. We move plants. Uninsured though. We can't insure plants.
Can't guarantee they don't cross state lines. Okay, we're kind of your
Yeah.
biggest thing I would say, just insurance wise, is nothing flammable, nothing explosive. So propane tanks, fuel, ammo, things like that.
Okay.
That's kind of the number one. But that's just because it avoids insurance should anything happen.
I guess that makes sense. You don't want your truck to blow up on the road.
Correct.
Along with their items.
Correct.
So do you move vehicles though?
Used to, not anymore. The process is really super easy, but insurance wants more than an arm and a leg to move vehicles, and so we had to stop doing that, unfortunately.
Okay. Do you offer any guarantees or warranties? Actually, I know you broke this down a little bit. Do you mind just doing it one more time?
Yeah. So, like I said, we do our general insurance with our white glove service, and then we do the valuation insurance that I talked about earlier. Just basically, if you want that little bit of extra for specific items that mean a lot to you. Say, you have a television that's $400. You don't really care about that, but you have grandma's organ, and it's 100 years old, and it's in pristine condition, and you want it to stay nice. Well, then you would, give us an approximate value. We do a valuation on it, and then it would be covered up to there. As far as anything beyond that, some people choose not to do a valuation, and we're movers, that we're driving trucks. They're not on pillows. Things tend to happen from time to time, and in that event, generally, if something gets damaged in some way, that will actually usually come in and just have it repaired for them as a courtesy, as opposed to paying them out that 60 cents per pound, which is our general insurance. And that generally helps customers feel more satisfied with what happened, even though, when something gets damaged, it's usually not a great scenario, but at least then they say, hey, they care, they took care of this for us. And it's better than getting 60 cents on the dollar of what the item was actually worth, even though, it's in our terms and conditions. Hey, if you want extra coverage, you can purchase this. Otherwise, this is what you're, liable to get. So
The guarantee is really that we'll do the service that we say we're going to do. Is we hold strong to doing the white glove service that we say we're going to. So the stretch wrapping, the blanket wrapping, neoprene runner in the doorway, door jam protector. Those are our guarantees that we'll do what we say that we'll do. And then the insurance is kind of our warranty. But like Joshua said, we've definitely gone above and beyond quite a few times just in the event that something kind of has happened. Not necessarily negligent, but just like, oh, that was kind of silly. That didn't go the way that we thought it would or whatever. And what's nice is Joshua's actually really handy when it comes to furniture. So we've been able to just repair a lot of items in-house. Whether it's broken legs or table scratches or different things like that, we're able to handle. And if not, we just gone the extra mile and sent it off, got it fixed, and helped the customer out just because we care.
When people are looking to move, it's a stressful time, so things get forgotten. What are some things that you see customers forget usually to do?
The miscellaneous stuff, even on like an inventory list, they'll forget garage stuff. They'll forget that we have like, oh yeah, those big giant garage racks, those go, or like the patio furniture, things like that. So long distance wise, it's kind of just forgetting some main items that you're not really thinking that you have to take, that you're gonna take. But then I would say giving themselves enough time to be ready, because we'll get some customers that will show up and we'll be like, you're moving today, right? Because they're not packed. They're, like open top boxes and a whole bunch of open top boxes. You can't pack a truck with open top boxes. But just they didn't give themselves enough time to purge and get rid of unwanted items, because then they're just paying to have garbage, kind of move something they're going to get rid of later. So essentially giving themselves enough time to be ready for moving day. Okay. I think it's number one.
Are there any like best kept secrets or tips and tricks that you guys have for people that are looking at maybe packing their house or packing boxes? Anything helpful you could share?
I think the biggest one is to fill your boxes all the way, you know. We get a lot of people that will go pack their kitchens and they'll fill the box halfway, and then they'll wrap them in paper, they'll wrap them in bubble wrap, and oh, that's gorgeous, you know. They'll fill it halfway or 3/4 of the way, and then they're like, okay, that's done. We don't want it to be too heavy, and they don't fill the rest of the box. Well, when they get stacked in the truck, they just smash anyway, and then you know, and then you come out with broken dishes. So I think one of the biggest tips that I could give, if you're gonna pack a box, you're gonna pack something, pack it all the way to the top. I mean, if it's half full of dishes, pack the rest with paper, with newspapers, peanuts, whatever you have to do to just make sure that that box is, you know, full all the way, so that you can put other things on it and it's not going to get damaged.
Yeah, we get a lot of caved in boxes for that reason. People just not going all the way up, all the way out, making sure the corners are full all the way to the top, because the boxes over time, especially if you're long distance, it's no secret that like the California highway isn't anything but is doing this the whole way. So when you're doing that for 1,000 miles, you know, those boxes, they just start to go down. We see it with wardrobe boxes all the time. Wardrobe boxes, because it's such a big box, it's not necessarily something you go up high with. So underneath and having a little bit of weight, those cave in. So making sure those are full. So wardrobe boxes, you can put a whole bunch of shoes in the bottom, put all the clothes on the rod, and then you can even put pictures in between, like your clothes. Little thin pictures, put, you know, hats and belts on the top, close it up, and you have a way more full box than, you know, just kind of putting it in there and be like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, people, when they're packing, they're concerned about lifting it. But you guys are the ones doing the lifting.
Correct.
So they might as well just
Yeah.
pack it up.
Yeah,
right?
Books should go in small boxes. We'll get mediums and larges of all books, and that's, you know, that's a no-go. So if it's heavy items, it should be in a small box. But you're right, you know, they're thinking, oh, I can't lift that. Well, they don't need to worry about lifting it, because that's what they hired us for. You're absolutely right. As far as other tips and tricks, honestly, labeling boxes helps out a lot, not just on the top, because when it's in a stack, you can't see all the top labels. So on the side, some people do a great job of doing color coordinated tape. It color coordinates with, you know, the room that it goes to. We've got customers that will do like maps or like legends for their house to enter the front door, and it says which way. So if we get, you know, extra help on a move, there's not too much kind of walking around and things like that. So labeling goes a long way. Just organization goes a really, really long way. For personal friendly service, you want to give Valley Custom Moving a call. We're the most, I would say, one of the most experienced in the field up here, just because of how long we've been in the area.
If you're looking for someone who cares about what they're doing and wants to make sure that their customers are satisfied, and you know, also looking for a local business, we are all of those things, a local small business. So
locally small, Idaho, family owned.
and also, if you're looking to come into the valley and have the same people that moved you, packed you up, and brought you here, unload you, because they know how your things were packed and stacked in the truck, and they know how to take them out safely. You're not just going to get some day laborers. You're going to get people that are experienced and know what they're doing, and they're going to be supervised by somebody who has even more experience. So you're going to get quality.
Actually, we have a client that's moving to this area. Their mover no-showed. So they are stuck.
Dang.
Still where they're at in California. They've been biting at the bit to get out.
We've never no-showed. In the entire time that we've been in business, we have never no-showed, and I don't think we've ever even canceled a move.
Yeah, no, we've had some ups and downs, but we've never had to cancel or just not show.
We've had trucks break down in the middle of nowhere, and we have still figured out, and we'll get it done.
Wow, that was fantastic, huh? I learned so much from that. Thank you, Treasure Valley Aaron, for going out and getting all that great information for me and our people. Well, Treasure Valley Dave here, and I want to remind you, if you like this video, make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. It's very important. If you think about making Idaho your home, give us a call. We'd be glad to answer all your questions. Well, I got to get this stuff delivered. We'll see ya.